Okay, Mike, we've got your rifle back from the gun range. Everything checks out perfectly. And we checked the torque sequence of everything, and it's dead spot on, and I'll explain that on the video so you can keep this video for future reference. On the floor plate screws, or the action screws as they're appropriately called, you want 47 inch-pounds on the front, 50 on the back. In that sequence, 47 front, 50, and then torque 50 to 52 in the rear, 50 to 52 in the front, if you should ever take the barreled action out of the stock. The base screws are torqued at 27 inch-pounds per the manufacturer's specifications, the base screws, and the rings are also night force. The cap screws are at 25 inch-pounds per specifications for this particular ring. These are put at 70 inch-pounds. They can range from 69 to 70.5. We prefer to do them right at 69 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. 69 inch-pounds. Okay, so we talked about the flat trigger, and there it is. I think you're really going to like it. It provides a lot of room for gloved hands. It's got a real crisp trigger pull. I think you're going to like. Now, a little bit about the trigger though. How do you get your bolt out? How do you remove the bolt to remove the breech plug when you do deep cleaning? Well, it is a little bit different because there's no push button on the flat shoe trigger. There's no push button to allow for the bolt release. Well, you don't have to ever take the bolt out in the field, only when you're clean. So I kind of wanted to show this video how simple it is. Get a very thin bladed screwdriver, a stretched out paper clip or a knife blade, and on the left side of your bolt you'll see a little long bolt release. It's thin and it's long right here. You will push down, pivot, and now you can remove the bolt entirely, just like so. It's that easy. Okay? When you put it back in, it'll self-lock. You probably heard it click. But again, you take a thin-bladed screwdriver, a stretched-out paper clip, or failing that, a knife blade. I don't like using knife blades for these kind of things, but it can be in a pinch. This might be a good idea to put either a paper clip in a field bag or your cleaning kit, what have you, if you ever have to remove the bolt for whatever reason in the field. But again, you push down, it has a little pivot arm, and then you remove your bolt. It's that simple. Okay? So everything checked out beautifully. The rifle really is it's a beautiful rifle, Mike. We've done several with the laminate thumb holes, and it's quite unique. The spiral barrel turned out beautifully with the new tooling and equipment, and we did a really nice flat matte finish, so you don't need to worry about any sun glare, and the nice contrasting color between the vortex on the scope and the darker colors on the ring and the black oxide on the action really gives some nice blending contrast, we feel, to the rifle. Now, one last thing I'm going to explain regarding this rifle is the adjustment for both the cheek piece and the butt pad. And remember, if you will recall, I replaced the really ridiculously thin pad with a really nice absorbing 1-inch recoil pad, in addition to it being adjustable. It's really nice. It just has a nice feel, very little recoil. Now, on the other side of your stock, I'm going to put the phone down for a moment. On the other side of your rifle, Mike, you're going to note a push button for the cheek piece, and they're rather stiff. It's just how the stock is built. Okay, it's a nice stock. It's not as refined as I would like it to have compared to like an MDT stock, but it's very functional, very adaptable, and you just have to be aware that nothing stops the cheek piece from flying out, or actually the little buttons here. So if you push the button to adjust the cheek piece down or up, and I can't do it one-handed, Mike, but anyway, you need two hands to push this. What you don't want to do is lose these out in the field. They are spring-fed, and they will come out, okay? They'll literally just pop out on you. So you want to use two hands when making these adjustments. You push the button in pretty aggressively. They're pretty stiff and they loosen up over time. But you push the button and make your adjustment to however you want. I'm going to go ahead and reset this to the adjustment that I shot it with. Hopefully it will match your shooting style. If not, go ahead and make some adjustments. Just be aware these push buttons do come out with some spring force, and the spring should not separate from them, so you're not going to have to hunt for a spring, but these are pretty powerful. You may have to hunt for these little buttons. So be cognizant and aware of that, especially in the field or hunting, that if you do the adjustment, just do it very carefully. And you should never have to mess with the settings once you get it to your style of liking anyway. This rifle is going to be cleaned up this evening. It's going to be boxed up. It's going to be ready to shoot out of the box. You don't have to do any cleaning, and just pull it out of the box, go on the range and start shooting at 25, 50, 100 yards. It's dialed in for 100 yards point of impact. So you're ready to go, and I'll make sure that the optics are zeroed, which they should be. Should be zero stopped for 100 yards, and the box will be included in the shipment from Track. So you'll see all the instructions or anything else you need in there. Thank you, Mike. It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry it took so long, but this is a very, very good shooting muzzleloader. You can use it for anything that a centerfire can do, within your capability. Thank you again, and I'll send you the tracking when it gets out the gate sometime tomorrow. Thanks, Mike.